So this
Are you
is
kidding? I've done high budget things on things like this.
what do you for real?
Of course.
And we got to make sure that afterward you get to sign the Wall of Fame,
Sure.
which I put up last night since you're coming over.
Okay.
Since I knew you were coming over.
Am I in the right camera angle?
Do you want me to double check? I
care.
can.
It's up to you.
I mean, you're sexy.
I just sat down and got comfortable.
Yeah,
And
yeah. This is the place I make it work for you.
Okay.
Speaking of which, you might recognize this cane. Not you. The cane in the bottom corner here.
You're doing it rolling right now.
Oh yeah, this is.
By the way, is this live or is this?
Nope.
Okay, that's good because hang on, I'm being my hip just vibrated. Okay, hang on.
Is that what happens when you pass like a certain
At a certain age, your hip vibrates and it's downhill from there.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Mark M. Smeltzer. Get marked up. You might know this gentleman sitting here next to me.
I am sitting.
You are sitting.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you might know him from other things.
I have a question for you before we start.
Yeah, sure.
Was there somebody else with your name in the union, and that's why you got the M, or is it just like that's just a?
So is it like Bob S. Burger type thing?
Well, very good. You did your research.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know why it was Bob S. Burger?
Well, that was Gremlins, right?
I think is Gremlins S. I only have 1 or 2 credits with my real name. And
I think that's the one that what was it? Wait, what else were you in the 80s?
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
That was probably Gremlins.
It was probably Gremlins, and there was a Bob Burger. My real name is Burger. There was a Bob Burger already in SAG.
Yeah.
And at first I took my mom's maiden name initial, which is Strusand, so it was Bob S. Burger, and I got tired of going to auditions. And people is Bob's Burger, which, by the way, today would have been an asset. Would have been a freaking asset.
Have you voiced anything for that show?
No, and I've been begging the producers, please, guys. I mean, but it doesn't matter.
Come on,
it doesn't
with
matter.
a story like that.
Yeah, but I've been Bergen now for almost 40 years.
This is Bob Bergen, everybody,
There you go.
and you might know him as probably the most famous character of Porky Pig.
There you go.
Yeah, and I, speaking of which, shout out to Connor Tidd, because a friend of mine back in high school, middle school, elementary, we actually watched, that was like the first time that I ever watched Space Jam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, and
because you're young.
Yeah, I'm 28, so I got a little bit.
Well, the answer is you're young.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Can you neither confirm nor deny Space Jam 2?
Well, everybody knows they're doing Space Jam 2.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like even a secret.
I meant like, can you neither confirm nor deny that you're in it?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
All right, cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. NDA.
Everything has an NDA.
That's right.
Yeah.
Life is NDA.
I actually have a few things which I can't talk about because I have some lifetime NDAs. Lifetime NDAs that I cannot tell anybody on the planet that I
Not even
part
pillow
of.
talk?
No.
Come on, Bob.
Pillow talk certainly.
Uh-huh.
But you know, my mom went to her grave with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and to the point where, see, I'm going to try to do this without saying what it was.
See, if anything though, you can say it on this because no one's going to watch this.
Well, not with your PR skills.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Bob.
No, but seriously, it's like I've talked to these people. And I'm like, this will advance my career if I can talk about it. Like, no, you can't. So, all right, I'm kind of hoping as time goes on.
You can say you played Luke, right?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, you've also voiced Luke.
Oh,
Are
yeah,
you
that's
friends
no
with
problem.
Mark and everything? Like,
We're not. I mean, I didn't invite him to Passover,
Yeah.
but we're buddies.
because you're partially Jewish, right?
I'm Jewish. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
It's from the waist down. I am Jewish.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But I also,
Wait, no, not really.
I also do enjoy a good BLT. And I voice a pig.
Right.
Put it all together, it's just a bundle of wrong.
What's the BB is that is
That's my initials, which I didn't even realize that this cane, I had this made last year. I didn't even realize I had my initials on it for like a month after I had this.
because I saw a picture of you at the which award was it? It was
Probably the Emmys.
probably,
Yeah.
and you had that cane. It was last
Yeah, I
year.
got
and I was
this.
Like, where did you?
Okay, so I was on crutches most of last year.
Okay.
And
What'd you do?
Well, I wear a prosthesis.
I hate to see the other guy.
There you go. I was born without a foot.
Okay.
And I developed what's called a pressure wound, which is just basically, for people who wear a prosthetic, it's just from putting too much pressure on the same spot over and over again.
So you must be an amazing runner.
No, right? So I had to go without a foot. for much of last year.
Wow.
Which was very difficult to explain to people I've known for over 40 years when they look down and go, what's going on?
Well, I was just going to ask, like, do you drive? Is it
sure.
I saw you driving.
Oh, no. I drive, and
Yeah.
I'm wearing my prosthesis now.
Yeah.
But I had to go without it for about 6 months, a little over 6
Wow.
months. And during the time I was without it, I was like, I think I'm going to have to go to a cane at some point between crutches to hopefully healing. So I just Googled cane craftsman, and I got about a dozen names, and I just asked various artists, can you make me a Porky Pig cane? This one guy said, sure.
All right, let's see this thing.
And actually, he did more than I wanted. What I wanted was just Porky on the wood grain. And this came. I was like, wow, that's vivid. And that's all folks on the back. And,
yeah. Wait, how do you say that?
Oh, well, that ends the whole thing if you want to do that now.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's all folks. And I got this, and I popped him a note, and I said, it's a little bit more vibrant than I wanted. I wanted something a little bit more nondescript.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you know what, live with it for a few weeks, and if you don't like it, send it back, and I'll redo it with a wood grain. And I was like, well, okay, it's kind of cool. The only time I don't like it is when I don't want to talk about it.
So like now?
Well, no, this is great. But like on an airplane, like a cross-country airplane ride, and I get
You just talk about your
I get
cane.
on the plane,
Yeah.
and people are like, okay, stop it.
No, you got places to be, people to see, my man.
Hang on.
Look at this.
Working.
Hello. Yeah.
Working.
Hi, this is the producer here, Bob. Why
That's
don't you
right.
answer your damn phone?
I know. Well, nobody is expecting me to do anything on a Saturday, so all these people are like, hey, what's going on? And my sister's just checking in. So
You just tell me when you leave, and you can go whenever.
Oh, well, I don't know how this works. When that thing dies, why you don't even know if it died already.
No, right? It
I
would
know.
probably
we could be
make-
talking to ourselves about a cane. All right, so
But at least you had a fun time.
So if I'm on an airplane and I don't want to talk about what I do, because people will say, what is there a significance for the cane?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll say, yeah, I do his voice, and sometimes I'll just be like, oh, I got it at a garage sale, and I just needed a cane. Isn't it cool?
Sure.
But 99%
What does
of the time,
Bob think about?
what does Bob think about?
Yeah.
When?
Well, just, like if you're in that, how sometimes you can get in the flow. And
A
you just
flow
don't
of-
want to talk to people.
Oh, see, most of the time I do. Most of the time I'm totally fine talking about my career, what I do. I mean, I don't think anybody...
Amazing career, by the way. Go check him out, truly. And follow Bob on Instagram, by the way.
Please follow Bob on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Bob.Bergen,
That's the thing
right?
now. Bergen.Bob.
Bergen.Bob.
I don't know why it defaulted to that, and I didn't know how to change it.
I think if we change it, we can change it.
I'm
It needs to be verified. You are the real Bob
they
Bergen.
won't do it.
Well, with my help, you
They
may.
will not verify me, and I've actually sent them I sent them pictures of my birth certificate. I'm like, but that says Bernard
Instagram,
Berger.
you're fucking
By the way,
up
my real-
so hard.
My real name is Bernard Berger.
Okay, well, that's the reason why.
I know. Well, but the thing is, I'm not the only actor with a stage name.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves. It's just,
Yeah,
I'm
this
venting
is,
right now.
Yeah, you take it from
There
here.
is no flow to this. So what does Bob think about? Is that what you said?
Yeah, what does Bob like to think about?
Depends on what's happening during the day and in the moment.
Because you said you don't talk about politics.
I don't talk about politics online. I don't talk about my personal life online, because when you have a sort of a I'm not a public figure, but I'm a pseudo public figure.
Oh, come on now. You're
So-
public.
Yeah, but not really. I mean, I'm not like,
You can go around and be pretty incognito.
which is lovely as a voice
I'm
actor.
sure it is.
As a voice actor.
Yeah.
But
Making some
But
bread.
because of social media,
Uh-huh.
and up until 20-something years ago, when I first started going to Comic-Cons and fan conventions, nobody knew me.
Mm.
And then I started going to these things, and everybody knows me. It's sort of like for 4 days, you're the Beatles. It's really kind of surreal.
It's badass.
But for the most part, there's anonymity. And when you do something in this business where you have to give up a little bit of yourself, for me, I want to keep as much of myself. So
Gotcha.
I don't talk about my politics. I don't talk about my personal life. I don't talk about anything.
So then how can we get to know the real Bob?
You won't. You never will.
Okay, that's fair.
You never will. No, I mean, I
Pseudo Bob.
honestly put on this persona
Sure.
of this guy that does voices for cartoons and works in the business. It's me, but
It's just part of you.
But who I am personally, nobody's business but my own. So
That's fair.
yeah, and I think all celebrities are the same way. We never knew who Johnny Carson really was. We don't know who Meryl Streep really is. We know who they want us to see when they're out and about, which is...
That's the whole point of entertainment, though.
Well,
right?
I think so. But I also think that we owe it to the people that consume our products to give them their time of day.
Oh, I'm
our
screwed,
time of day.
man.
Well, you have to. You have to. You know, I mean, again, I'm not well known, but if I'm at a restaurant and, you know, we're in LA, so it's pretty rare that the waiter or waitress isn't an actor. And if somebody does know me,
It's
and they'll
true.
say, like, you know, can I talk to you about voiceover? I absolutely will give them some time to talk about voiceover.
Well, we'll do that at the end because I want people to buy your stuff. I want people to buy your coaching, and you still do that.
I do, but my class has a 4-year waiting list. I mean, they're welcome to contact me, but it's going to be a while.
Yeah. That's a long time.
It's a long time, yeah. But there aren't that many of us that do cartoon voiceover classes.
What do you think your strength is versus your weakness as a performer?
My strength as a performer is I'm a perfectionist. That I realize it's called voice acting for a reason. It's not about what voices you can do, it's what you can do with those words. I love direction. I love directors. I am a stickler for being professional, punctual.
Oh yeah, you were early as hell for this.
Well, that's also because the traffic said wasn't going to be here till like 12:20, and I was petrified. If I'm 5 minutes
Where are you
early,
in town compared
I'm
to
in
here?
I'm in the valley. I mean, I'm on the other side of the valley.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's Saturday. There shouldn't have been traffic. There were accidents everywhere.
Oh, jeez.
Multi-car crashes here, there, and everywhere. So
Ridiculous.
yeah. So
Pay attention when you drive.
That's why God created ways, and it really is a good thing.
Yeah.
So I am.
Free plug from Bob for
Waze?
Waze.
Yeah.
I could cut this and we could send it
Oh
to
my
him.
gosh! See, that's how you think. That's
Yeah.
where your mind goes. Is
Yeah.
how can we use this
It's
to
marketing.
See, there you go.
I'm on the wrong side of the biz.
No, you're
man.
actually doing it all okay because you put it all together. I'm terrible at it. I'm just really bad.
Stop saying
I will.
that.
So I will.
It'll
be,
come true.
I will be at an event and be driving home, going, I totally forgot to. Hey, I'm here, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that way. I don't think. I'm an okay boomer. So I'm an old
Well, how old
guy.
are you?
I'm going to be 56 in about a month.
That's awesome.
That's better than the alternative.
Being 57? Yeah.
No, it's better than not reaching 56. My strengths.
Yeah.
I love what I do. It's hard for me to take no for an answer. I will find a way to make it a yes.
That's the Jewish part of you.
I absolutely. Can I swear?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Duh.
Uh,
Can you swear?
Yeah. Well,
You can.
My weakness would be that I'm not good at change.
Sounds tough.
I'm not good with technology, and I'm not good with change. So.
So you're more of one of those traditional guys.
Very much. So when I got into the business, it was at the point where agents were just starting to hold auditions in their in their offices, where I would say 50% of the time go to an ad agency for a commercial audition. 40% of the time go to a casting office, and 10% of the time go to
You
an
got water
agent's
right there
office.
just in case.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
How did that happen? That's a miracle.
I know.
Wow, dude.
We edit it in later.
There you go.
It's not real.
There you go. It's
Yeah.
movie making magic, people.
That's right.
And then
When you're have pros, you gotta be pro.
that's right. And
That's
we're assuming it's water. We'll find out as I slur. So I got into the business, and it was reel-to-reel demos. And then
8 tracks.
they never did 8 tracks, but it was reel-to-reel.
Okay.
And then the buyers started finding.
Wait, hold
that,
on. I gotta double check.
Make sure it's still going.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And
Golden.
you'll edit yourself that never happened.
I never edit
Okay.
these.
Oh, you don't?
I legit don't ever
Wow.
edit these.
Okay. All right.
Because I feel like I want
You
you,
want the
to be a part
spontaneity.
of the spontaneity
All
of the
right.
conversation.
All right.
Have a
There
conversation.
we go. All right. I don't know where I was. See, that's 56 right there. That's
Yeah.
56.
That's okay. It happened to me last night. I was updating my acting profile, and I was like, trying to play at what age.
Right.
And I'm trying to I was like, am I 28 or 20? Oh shit! How old am I? This is too early for that.
I actually had an agent years ago. I signed with her when I was 23, and for like 10 years she would tell everybody I'm 23. And I'm like, no, I'm 33. She goes, yeah, but in my mind you're 23, and I like her mind.
Yeah. I bet you like her mind even now.
Right. Well, she's not my agent now.
Well, even more so.
And I can guarantee right now she's like, yeah, there's no way you're 23.
You were talking about reel to reel.
Yeah, so demos were on reel to reel, and as time went on, you started going to your agent's office more and more for the auditions. I like being in the room. I can win a room over. When you're in your agent's office, or today it's a home studio.
Yeah.
The downside is there's nobody there to tell you what they want. The pros are there's nobody there to tell you you can't do something.
That's
so
right.
all you gotta do is commit to something, and just
You're talking about self-direction versus
Mhm.
somebody directing.
Yeah. So then demos went to cassette. One side animation, one side commercial.
Okay.
Then demos went to CDs, and when they went to CDs, every genre of voiceover could be a track on that
Promo,
CD.
narration.
Games, toys, award show announcing, game show announcing.
Because I mean, if you want to go check out Bob's material, by the way, it's on your website.
It's
Is
my
this
website. It's on-
bobbergen.com?
Yeah, and it's also on. I'm with Atlas Talent. It's on
Atlas
their
is-
website too.
Right.
I mean, anything you do. I've got like a 30-second demo where I just do baby noises.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and your creature one's pretty fun.
Thank you. And that came from my agent calling me up, and I do a lot of creatures. She's like, "You need a creature demo."
Sure.
I said, "Okay." So I walked into my booth, and a minute later, I came out and had a demo. Cost me no money, no production. It's just all me.
But quick shout out though to Chuck Duran.
Yeah, Chuck, I'm sorry. You've done other demos of mine. You've made your money. Okay.
Yeah.
And I got more for you, buddy. I always have more for you. He's great.
I'm so stoked to work with Chuck. Man.
He's
I really am.
He's fun. Stacy's
Like 2
amazing.
weeks.
They're just so cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to I don't.
That's
like,
why they work with you, because you're cool too.
I'm lukewarm. You know, I'm not always cool.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't like change.
Yeah.
So as we kept changing things.
You mean from reel to reel to
Yeah,
cassette
and now
to-
I was okay with that.
Sure.
I purchased the booth that I have in my home studio from a friend.
What, you got like a whisper room or something?
No, I have it. Actually, it's an acoustic system, stainless steel, professional. I think it was the staff announcer booth of CBS years ago that I
Like V1?
one of the ones.
Okay.
Yeah, that I think CBS
Memorabilia, huh?
I purchased it from Randy Thomas when she moved to Florida a few years ago.
Okay.
And
Shout out Randy Thomas.
there we go. And I had it in my home studio, and I painted it so it looked real pretty, and it gathered dust for a year because I was terrified to learn how to use it. And I hired a buddy to come in and
Sounds like you love change, Bob.
I hate change. I had it all plugged in, and the guy that got everything hooked up said, "Look, just spend a weekend and pretend like you're auditioning, and you'll learn it within an hour." And I did. My recording program at the time was Cool Edit.
What's your DAW now?
Today I use Twisted Wave.
Twisted Wave. Okay,
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's very, very comparable to Cool Edit, or Adobe Audition is what Cool Edit became.
Gotcha.
Um,
I used to use GarageBand.
and I used to use Audacity, but when Audacity had an update, I couldn't listen in the headphones anymore, and it kind of changed compatibility.
Oh, Audacity, you fucked up.
Yeah, so
You lost one of the coolest.
so people kept recommending Twisted Wave, and it was
Yeah.
great, and it's multi-platform. So
So shout out Twisted Wave.
you know, I was like last year. I was on vacation at some Ritz resort in Santa Barbara, and I got this your request to audition for a series, and I said, "Oh, okay." I always travel with my travel stuff,
What's your travel mic?
just Apogee.
Apogee.
Yeah, I forgot the cord, so I held my iPad up like this, talking into the mic on Twisted Wave, and I'm reading the script like this because that with frolicking people at the pool outside because we were by the pool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is the only way I'm going to read.
Sure.
And
it didn't matter for that audition that there was low quality?
it was either that or don't read.
Sure.
So I
Could you type in to make like an excuse or something? Be like,
well,
I forgot my cord.
my agent knew I was on vacation and I forgot my cord.
Oh, okay.
So I emailed it to my agent. I also copied myself. When I got home, it sounded broadcast fine.
Wow, cool.
So, and I got the part. So, bottom line is, I hate change, I hate adapting, but you do it because the alternative is, I mean, there have been many times I just pull over on the side of the road. I have an agent who'll say this is due in 20 minutes. If you want to be in the game, you pull over and just in the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that I've kind of adapted to that. You know, I've adapted to that kind of change. There's a lot of change.
You just forgot your adapter.
Well, ba-dum-bum. There you go. That's why he gets the big bucks for this interview.
Oh, jeez. I couldn't help it.
But I even though I have been able to adapt to this change, there's a lot of change I do not like to adapt to, and I won't. And I just decided, you know what, this is fine for me in my career, and at this point in my career, if I don't do that, then that's okay. And there's certain genres of voiceover I won't do because I don't find it fun, and I don't want to adapt to learn how to be good at it.
Sure.
So
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And you capitalize on your strengths.
Well, so many people try to be everything, all things voiceover.
You mean like everybody in Hollywood that's like got 6 hats?
Well, and I don't even mind if they have 6 hats if they're good at each hat.
Yeah, that's...
Seriously.
No,
if
that's
each hat
right.
fits, that's fine.
Yeah, but if you suck at it...
Well, yeah, and I'll hear demos, I'm like...
It's like me and this. This is going nowhere.
Well, there you go. But no, seriously, this is your comfort zone because you enjoy doing it.
Oh, God, yeah.
So...
This is like my happy
It's
place.
just conversation, which is what you enjoy.
That's right.
And I'll hear demos, I'm like, okay, you're not the sexy perfume chick, okay?
Yeah.
You're
Yes,
the...
Dan.
Yeah, and they try, because they want to be all things voiceover.
That's right.
And nobody is all things voiceover, but they think they're missing an opportunity
Sure.
by not presenting this side of the industry. People remember the bad more than they remember the good. And if it's a 1-minute demo, and there's that one really crappy thing that they stretched and they weren't organic, it didn't sound authentic, that's what's going to be remembered.
Oh, I'm fucked.
Chuck will tell you that.
Yeah. No, he said he actually sounded okay when I sent him what I have gotten.
Yeah.
But of course, he'll spice it up. He's gonna find. Actually, what was my main question right here was, what is my signature sound and how do I capitalize on it? That was actually one of my main questions.
Your signature sound is what you're doing right this very second.
Oh yeah, it's just this.
Well, it is just this, but did you notice that when you said, oh yeah, it's just this, you put on voiceover mode just a pinch? You did. Watch it back.
What?
Watch it back.
I do watch my stuff. Every time I post an interview, I watch every single interview.
No, but I'm saying that as soon as you were thinking voiceover, you shifted gears into what you think your voiceover should be.
Absolutely.
Conversational is what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
But you got to be able to talk about detergent and diapers.
Yeah.
This way.
You got to make sure you.
I was at
Tide.
I was at AFI doing SAG Conservatory several years ago.
Okay.
With Mary Lynn Wissner, who is a casting director, voices.
Shout out Mary Lynn.
There you go. It was a Q&A, and this guy in the first row raises his hand and he says something like, if there's a very specific genre of voiceover that you want to do, how do you go about just doing something very specific? And Mary Lynn said, well, specifically, what is it you want to do? And this very charming guy all of a sudden goes, I'd like to do medical narration. And we're like,
who the fuck
what
was
just
that?
happened to you? Did you are you being possessed
Where
by
did
Walter
you
Cronkite?
go?
What happened?
Walter Cronkite.
Yeah. And she said, okay, you just became what you think this needs to be. Nobody needs another voice.
Yeah.
If you go to...
They want you. They hire you because of you.
And there's nobody else like you. So when you
That's
send
right.
your demo to an agent and they say we have too many people in your category, then your demo doesn't reflect who you are. You're the only you reading that copy. Your cadence, your personality, your inflection,
That's right.
your sense of humor, your heart.
Are you wearing Chuck Taylors?
That's all I wear is Chucks.
Oh my God, you are.
You know why?
Dude, you are such a badass.
No, I'm not a badass because they keep my prosthesis on.
Shout out to Chuck.
I actually have patent leather Chucks to wear at the Emmys. I do. I do.
Oh shit.
So
anyways.
So yeah, you want your demo to reflect you.
Right.
And if
I'm sorry,
so
that was
laughing at my
just,
shoes?
I'm like, what the hell? That's awesome.
they're also quite comfortable.
Oh God, I love.
They have
Chucks,
they have
bro.
no support whatsoever, but
God.
only 50% of my feet need support, so I'm okay.
oh shit. Oh, social justice
So right now
warrior.
people are going to be watching this going, he has one foot.
Yeah.
And they're going to be watching me at things on video going, which one it is.
Are they going to go to a bunch of different interviews and be like, why didn't he not talk about this in other ones?
I will tell you a real quick story.
Yeah.
I'm going all over the place, but
This is the segue show, Bob.
so years ago,
Yeah.
I was interviewing with I don't do theatrical, but I was interviewing at the time with theatrical agents. And
You're talking about for movies?
Yeah, TV movies, yeah, on live action.
Mhm.
And I'm in the lobby.
It's NDA. We can't talk about it.
Oh, I can talk about this. I'm in the lobby, and there's the agent's door, and I took off my foot, and I opened the door, and I tossed it, and I said, just want to get my foot in the door. And the agent was like, take this and yourself and leave. I went, oh, okay, that didn't work. I'm all about taking risks. There is no...
That was amazing!
There is no possibility
Oh, yeah.
of succeeding without taking risks.
Sure.
And sometimes they backfire.
That got you here.
But eventually,
Look,
who knew?
This is the peak, bro.
Who knew? Eventually, they're tossing my foot into an agent saw, and then I thought, oh shit, is it clean? Is it maybe a smell bed? No, they just don't want a foot.
Yeah.
In the middle of their
Probably freaked him the fuck out, or her, whatever.
Oh, it was him.
Them.
It was him.
Not gonna piss anybody off.
It was him.
You know.
Yeah, it was him.
know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jesse Sink, by the way. Jesse has I actually recorded his audiobook for him a couple years ago, and he has a prosthetic arm.
Oh, okay.
And so when he does, like, sir, hey, give me a hand here. Someone comes over and like,
oh yeah, oh yeah,
yeah, like workout videos.
Oh my god, I've done things like, you know, I've taken the foot off and put it in the pocket on an airplane seat in front of me, toes sticking out. So when the flight attendant comes to take a drink, you know, I'll drink order, they see the toes. You do all kinds of stuff.
I would love to do a sketch with you.
You gotta.
Oh.
But I'll tell you what I'm really pissed off at is that all of the titles I've wanted for my autobiography have been taken. Footloose is taken.
Yeah.
You know?
Cool.
My Left Foot is taken.
Yeah.
It pisses me off, so I have to think of something different.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something here, but.
Well, I actually have a name for the book I'm writing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How many books do you have on now?
None.
You're 56, Bob. You gotta get on that.
Because
Come on, man.
I know. Well, I'm working on it right now. It's called.
Well, you're turning 56.
I'll be 56 in March.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Sorry, I do listen.
I understand.
Who?
That's right.
You take it from here.
I don't know. What was I saying? See, I'm 56. I have no idea what I was saying.
So you think that taking improv is like key
Yes.
to becoming an incredible performer?
I think whether your thing is voiceover or Shakespeare, the best training you can do is improv, because what improv does is it trains you to listen, it trains you to make choices, it gets you out of your head. You have to live in the moment. But I'm a firm believer that you study acting, study improv, and then you study voiceover. Because if you go to take voiceover classes...
And you don't know how to act?
Well, I mean, I didn't know how to act. I was 2 years in a voiceover class, spinning my wheels, going, okay, I've got really good hearing. I understand make it conversational, but from here to here, it wasn't working.
Yeah. There was something that was missing.
I had no technique. You know, I mean...
Speaking of technique...
Yes, let's look at that. Is it still going?
I know it's so bad.
All right, no, that's okay.
Seriously, I swear,
okay.
I'm so... And I've got 2 more interviews today.
What time are your other interviews?
Oh, we got time.
All right.
One's at 2 and one's at 3.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So the difference between...
By the way, thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
I'm just blown, just asking.
Thank you for working around my wacky schedule.
Well, you know, come on, Bob.
I have a wacky schedule. All right, acting. The difference between a trained actor and a non-trained actor is a non-trained actor makes a guess and a trained actor makes a choice based on the techniques they have. Your goal is to be able to repeat your acting skills at will consistently.
The same movements, the same...
Well, I mean the same movements, but you need to be
some
truthful.
of the same choices.
You need to be honest.
Sure.
So, like, you know, this happened the other day. I'm working on a series, and I did a take, and the director said, let's do one more. We had a technical glitch on our end. You got to remember what you did.
How long was it take, you remember?
What's that?
How long was it take?
What do you mean? Oh, it was a couple of lines. It wasn't that big a deal.
Oh, okay.
But
not like a full-on monologue.
No. It's a cartoon. So,
Sure.
You know, it's a line. In my class this week...
NDA.
No, this one does have an NDA. They all do. They all do.
Yeah.
In my class this week, I had an actress. You know, I was having a difficult time getting a variety in a certain line. So I said, "Do me a favor, give me that line again. ABC, 3 different ways." She did it. I said,
That means do one line, do another line, do another line.
but each with a different
take.
different flavor.
Yeah.
I said, "Ooh, I liked your B. Give me 3 variations of B." And she said, "I don't remember what I did for B." And I said, "And that is your job."
And that's your job.
That is your job. So I turned to the class and I said, okay, I'm glad this happened. Because voiceover, especially cartoons, but it's not cold reading, it's frozen.
Yeah.
We oftentimes don't get
You
the
get to
script
look
at
at
all.
it, and you do it there.
Yeah. I mean,
People don't understand how hard your job is.
Well, Tom Hanks did an interview on Graham Norton talking about Toy Story. And Graham Norton was like, what is it like to do a cartoon?
Oh, you're talking about Graham Norton over in the UK.
BBC.
Yeah, I saw that interview. Great show.
Yeah, and Tom Hanks is like, oh my God, it's so hard. You're there by yourself. Like any movie.
I remember this.
You don't record in order. You're just doing these disjointed
Out of
scenes.
fucking nowhere.
You do a line. There's these guys in a booth, glass over there, and they're not talking, and they're looking so disappointed.
And then they talk to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was a good interview.
But you're in a studio, and you've got to bring this thing to life, and your scene partners aren't there. and you're thinking, God, this is crap, and you're killing yourself trying to get the physicality, and it is tiring.
You use your whole. It's acting.
If you don't use your whole body, you're doing it wrong.
That's right.
It's not just doing funny voices. In fact, there's no such thing as a good voice. There's no such thing as a bad voice. They're just good actors and bad actors. All characters have a voice, but not all voices have character.
Say that again.
All characters have a voice, but not all voices have character. So it's not about what you sound like, it's what you do with those words. The script is a skeleton, your job is to give it a body. So you get up there and you find, like an on-camera job, there are layers of personality. Acting is reacting. Your scene partner's not there in the audition. Sometimes your scene partner's not there at the session. Your scene partner is on the page. We just don't hear them. And if the information isn't there, like, have you auditioned for cartoons?
I mean, I have, but nothing.
Okay.
Obviously, nowhere even close to what you have.
You'll get 5 or 6 different scenes, just your lines. Your scene partner's lines aren't even there. You might be referring to your scene partner, and you look at the specs and you see if there's any information about that scene partner that you can use for that audition.
It's a really fast, quick script analysis that you have to do.
Well, and most of the time that information isn't even there. So
you're just making a blind guess.
You make it up.
Yeah.
You make it up. It's not a guess, it's a choice. So you decide who your scene partner is, where we are in the scene, what our relationship is, what I need from my scene partner, what the conflict is.
This is a masterclass, by the way.
Well,
truly, listen to this.
Well, even if your scene partner is a total stranger, there is a way that you will deliver that scene with that scene partner, relaying, I don't know who you are. We're a total stranger, but this is what I need from you in this scene. Where you are on mic corresponds with where the characters are in that scene. So if you imagine that your characters are nose to nose, talking about something secret, you get really close. Yeah. If you imagine your scene partner is down the hall, you get a little room noise.
Yeah.
And where you are, it's a dance. It's choreography. Where you are on mic.
Got to change that welcome, man.
But that, right?
Yeah.
But that is the audio illusion of a versatile performance. They'll listen back and they'll go, wow, they're so rich in choice. Mm-hmm. Where the beginner will walk up to the mic, I'm this far away, that's beginner 101, and they never move.
That's right.
And they don't take the risks.
You got to shift.
They don't make the choices. They don't take the risks. If you watch people like Jennifer Hale or Jim Cummings or Tom Kenny or D. Bradley Baker.
Shout out to those legends, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, or I used to watch June Foray and watch her at the mic, and it was literally a dance. It wasn't somebody standing there or sitting there reading. It was somebody actually in the moment from head to toe. Tom likes to stand and flail. I like to sit. I still flail, but I'm a sitter.
Sure. Because who wants to stand on a prosthetic foot?
This is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. I understand, Bob.
Right?
I understand.
Right? You feel my pain.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't have any prosthetics, but
well, there's time.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. I've got spares. I've got spare feet. They cost an arm and a leg, but I'm happy to give you one.
That's a great joke.
I got a million of them.
So the fact that I'm sure you do, the fact that you still do your one-man show every now and again?
Haven't done it for a long time. For no other reason other than I just don't have the time.
You're so busy, man.
Well, I mean, if I do it again, it needs a major rewrite because it's all autobiographical. I've done it.
So you got to update it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it. Oh gosh, I'd say I've had 2 extended runs in Los Angeles. I did it in Chicago for shorter runs. I did it in Atlanta. I did a couple of times in New York.
You want to know why people go?
What's that?
You want to know why people go?
Go where?
To your show?
I don't know why.
Because you're such a fucking sweetheart.
Oh, you're very nice. Thank you.
I'm serious. Like, when I'll say it again. That's like the number one thing that I can think of and resonates with me is he's a genuine class dude.
There are people watching this I can guarantee will differ, but that's okay.
Yeah,
that's
well,
their problem.
Screw you guys.
Thank you. But every time I would do the show, it would be slightly updated because it's autobiographical.
But the bones were there.
The bones are there. I mean, and it started out as an idea for a sitcom pitch. It started out I was a tour guide at Universal for about 5 years. And it started out as a sitcom about a movie studio. Think Taxi meets The Break Room at a Hollywood movie studio tour.
Okay.
And the gentleman who was managing me at the time said, have you ever thought about, instead of writing this as a sitcom pitch, presenting this. We were to invite networks. Could you do this like a presentation and play all these characters?
Yeah.
And I said, probably. And we started working on that. And then he goes, what if we did this? It was never going to be autobiographical. It was going to be based on, but
Yeah.
he goes, what if it is autobiographical? And this is about a guy who's a tour guide. But Act 1 is, I want to be the voice of Porky Pig someday. Act 2 is, I got to eat, so I'm a tour guide. And Act 3 is, I get the job. I said, okay.
Which is basically...
Which is what it became. So we kind of did a rough. I would tell stories, and he would type it into a format of a script because I'm not a writer. I'm an idea guy, but I'm not a structure writer.
Sure.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't write. So he structured it. I would tell stories into a tape recorder, and he would structure it because he was a writer.
So he would take it and move the pieces around.
You know, with exposition.
What's his name?
I'll tell you that later.
Okay.
And
I was, shout out to Unknown.
And the Oakwood Apartments on Barham, which is sort of like Pilot Central. If a kid has a pilot in Los Angeles or somebody has a pilot, they stay at the Oakwood Apartments on Barham in Burbank. It's just this giant complex, furnished, unfurnished, singles. Just it's a place to go if you want to try to make it in LA, and a lot of people that do pilots. So
Oakwood Apartments.
So my manager at the time said, "Hey, listen, there's a little stage in their like rec room. Want to go and just test this out with a whole bunch of people?" And he goes, "I'll videotape it. Let's see what I said, "Okay, well, I'm working on 3x5 cards."
Yeah.
And he videotapes it. I had nothing memorized. I didn't even have stage direction. I would just wander the stage wherever it felt comfortable.
Sure.
And
we're making choices.
Yeah, I was making guesses. And, and he videotaped it, and he gave it to a buddy of his who was a manager named Ken Cragen. And he asked Ken to look at it, and does it have a life, and what does it need, and this is very rough. And Ken had us go into his office, and Ken managed Kenny Rogers. And he said, "No, listen, Kenny needs an opening act for the rest of his..."
Wait, how many minutes was your set?
I would say 65, 70 minutes.
Okay.
You know, Kenny needs an opening act. Can you take this and cut it into like 20 minutes to open for Kenny Rogers? And this
I'm
was,
sure you had some great bits.
And this was like on a Tuesday. I said, "Well, when does this need to happen?" And he said, "If you take this job, you'd be going on stage in, I think, Oakland on Thursday."
And this is like a Tuesday?
Mm-hmm. And my manager goes, "Oh, we'll do it." I said, "Okay,
We'll do it.
we'll do it."
Yeah,
and the next day,
but you got to put in the
I was
work.
like, I took this. I was like, "How do I get 20 minutes out of this?" And I had nothing memorized. And we're flying up north, and my manager says, "No, look, it's an autobiographical show. You're not doing Shakespeare.
Yeah.
If you fuck up a line,
Who
you're
cares?
the only one that knows.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it." And that took a lot of pressure off of me.
Oh,
and
sure.
I had no audio or light cues for this. So
it's just you in a spot.
me in a spot. So I did it, and we traveled. We went to Portland. We traveled all over the West Coast. Finished up Kenny Rogers' summer tour. Came back here, and I did it.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Yeah, that's here. I invited a bunch of people to see it. I did it once at
Like network people?
What's that?
Network people?
No, the first time I did it at the Ice House in Pasadena.
I'm going there on the 16th.
I just.
That's a cool spot.
It's a very cool spot.
Yeah.
Very, very. I mean, so many classic comedy albums
Yeah.
were recorded at that club.
Shout out Nick Lytle.
There we
February
go.
16th. Get your VIP tickets.
I did it once.
Yeah.
Just invited friends. Just to get it done. Tiny little stage, so I had to really. I mean, I went from outdoor amphitheaters with Kenny Rogers to this tiny little stage. That was difficult. And then I booked the Whitefire Theater in Sherman Oaks, and I just did it for a weekend. That's when I invited industry people.
Is that the one that's online? Is that the one that's recorded?
Say again?
The one on your website.
No, that's a whole different one. That's a whole different version.
Gotcha.
You mean the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different one.
Okay.
So I did it at the...
I've done a little bit of research.
A lot of research.
It's a little different with Bob, by the way.
I'm actually very impressed. He has no cue cards, no cheater cards. It's pretty impressive because you'll 56. You'll remember stuff I don't, but I did remember that.
Yeah.
So
and by the way, if you want to hear his Mel Blanc stories, it's great how he got started. I don't want to talk about that stuff because I already know it.
there we go.
And I don't want to talk about shit I already know or have heard.
Right.
I want to talk about stuff I don't know.
All right. So I did the show at the White Fire. Producer came up to me and he said, I have a theater in North Hollywood, Whitmore Lindley. I would like to produce this show. I said, okay. So
Just like that, huh?
Yeah, I said, okay.
Huh.
Did it there for about 3 months.
Okay.
And then I got...
Was this like Thursday through Sunday?
Yeah, exactly. And then I got tired of talking about myself. And then I. So I stopped. I was doing well, but I decided to stop doing it.
I like how your next two sentences, and then I. So I stopped, and...
Yeah, I just got bored.
Enough about Bob.
Yeah, it became very boring to me.
Okay.
And then...
But you're not a boring guy.
Yeah, but... You know what? Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. I would sit there with my manager and some of my best friends as we were putting this up. I brought in some of my friends to be my stage managers and help out.
That's cool.
And I would say, look, I know my mom likes me, but is this interesting to anybody other than my inner circle?
But it's a funny show.
Well, and so the answer was, let's find out, shall we? And it did really, it did well.
Yeah.
But I just got bored talking about myself.
Sure.
Okay. Then... Oh, I don't know. Several years later, I got the itch to do it again. And I needed to update it, which I did.
Well, sometimes that's all you need, right? Just that little itch.
Yeah,
Just that.
yeah.
Put it away for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did it at the Stella Adler Theater in Hollywood.
That's awesome.
That's the trailer that's on
Gotcha.
my website. And it's old because I have gray hair now, and it's just, I mean, it's
And you're black.
ish. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. All the issues.
That's right.
See, I'm 10% Jewish. That's why I'm only 10% funny.
But which part?
Exactly.
There
I don't
you go.
even know.
Hopefully it's...
I think it was just a certificate.
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
All right, so you have 10% bris, and that's about it.
That's great.
Depending on the side you look at.
Yeah.
So that's my one-man show.
Go check out his one-man show. It's great. It is.
People
The
ask me all the
trailer's
time,
fun.
are you going to do it again? And the answer is, if I get the...
If you get the itch.
Yeah.
Well, if you do, I would love to talk about it.
I get asked all the time. I get offered theaters all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
So, but I did self-produce, by the way. That's hard. If you're a producer in this business, I admire, I respect, I have empathy.
Are you even on camera?
I don't-
Did you sit off? Don't move. Yeah, you're still on. All right.
Good. Seriously, producing's hard.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I had to get insurance. I had to insure the audience.
Yeah, come back to me here.
I had to insure the audience from the time they left the theater to the time they got home.
That's some serious
I
coin there.
It was crazy what you do to produce, and I realized I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I do enjoy acting. I do not enjoy producing.
Sure.
So that's my one.
Because you got to put up your own dough sometimes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's some coin.
Mhm. Yeah, and you don't do theater in Los Angeles to make money.
No, that's what I've heard.
This
This is not the right city for that.
If you can break even, that's terrific.
Well, let me ask you. The fact that all these new things are streaming platforms.
Yeah.
How come we don't have a Bob Bergen 1 hour special? Netflix.
Well,
Hulu.
I'm not a stand-up comic.
Yes, you are.
Well, no, I'm not.
But you could be with that set.
I could be if anybody's interested, but I've never pursued it.
If you get that 55 tight, you could make some serious coin.
Possibly. I know that.
Yes, it's a pocket watch.
I had noticed that. Yeah, that's very cool. James Arnold Taylor has a wonderful one-man show, and I've seen it. I've seen it live. I've seen it videotaped. It's multimedia. It's great. It's amazing.
I want to see the Bob Bergen one.
Yeah. All right. Well, it needs to be rewarded.
You know what? Don't do it.
Okay, fine. There we go. Is that reverse psychology challenge?
It is whatever you want it to be, Bob.
I have so many things that I want to do.
I'm sure you do.
That.
Why the fuck are you sitting here?
Yeah. Oh, you mean today in general?
No.
Today, I will tell you. After I leave here, I was going to go to a friend's house. My friend just got a remodel.
Oh, cool.
I was going to go see her house.
Awesome.
On my way here, I got a text that I got to go do pickups for some promos that I did for Cartoon Network.
Oh, sweet.
I signed no NDA, so I think I can say that.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, I wasn't expecting to work today. So there we go.
Well.
And there you have it. So
Money.
I don't know why I just said that. Where were we going?
Well, the reason is
because my mind.
It's where we're headed, Bob.
Oh, okay, good. Oh,
So
that was a segue. I didn't even know it.
That's right.
Bitch.
Just
Okay. All right. Cool.
I want to talk about non-union, SAG, and FICOR.
Okay, it's SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah.
It hasn't been SAG for several years, but that's okay.
I was shortening it for
I'm going to be really honest.
Yeah.
And I was a part of the merger. I was in the secret actor meetings in homes to talk about the idea.
Because you're pretty high up at SAG-AFTRA.
I used to be. I'm not anymore.
Well,
I used to be. But I was part of this, like, let's talk about merger. We would go to actors' homes and do it behind the scenes, which is kind of how the union was originally started.
So sneaky.
Had it been my choice, we would have been called SAG. SAG-AFTRA Guild, and not SAG-AFTRA. Because people, like you just did, call it SAG still.
Because it's so much faster, it's quicker, people know what I'm talking about.
Exactly, and people in Legacy AFTRA, broadcasters find that insulting, and they find it offensive to me.
Well, it's because their egos aren't stroked.
Hello.
Fuck them, it's fine.
And I used to
get over yourself.
I used to say they can call it Heinz 57. They can call it Miracle Whip. I don't care as long as our contracts are good.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what they call it.
There you go.
So yeah, I was involved with the merger. So here's how I got involved at the union. So SAG and AFTRA.
So dreary.
SAG and AFTRA hated each other. Hated each other.
Okay.
So is that a normal sound? Is that like a train? What is that?
There's people out there.
Okay.
This is not a closed off. It's the weekend. It's inside the Cartoon Network building.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah.
I ran for and won a board seat at SAG because I wanted to find out what did they have up their ass with AFTRA. What is their problem?
Okay.
I ran for.
Well, you know, comparing dicks is still a thing, Bob.
In Hollywood, yeah, but not in voiceover too much. You know.
You can't really hear that.
No, and if you can, that's a good one.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a good take.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
So
hard to make that same take again, though.
At the same time, not if you're trained. At the same time, I ran for and won a board seat at AFTRA because I wanted to find out what they had up their ass with SAG.
What the hell?
So I am a dual board member.
You're serious?
I am, and I realized, oh my God, same people, same contracts. They hate each other because they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Because of history and legacy and ego. Well,
this is glorious.
Well, then.
Do you talk about this often?
Sure.
Okay.
But
on camera?
Sure.
Okay.
If there's a camera for me to talk to.
Okay.
So.
You want to get the word out, Bob?
At this time, things started getting digital.
This was what, the late 90s, early 2000s?
I don't remember because I haven't had enough coffee, but it was a while ago. It was a long time ago.
Okay.
As things started becoming digital, both unions were asking for shared jurisdiction on the same contract. For instance, it used to be AFTRA was tape and SAG was film. Now everything's digital. So they would all try to say, well, no, we can do that now because there is no digital differential contract.
Gotcha.
Okay. And what was happening is everybody's pension and health, because when you work, a portion of your check goes into the P&H.
Okay.
And that's our retirement, that's our health benefits. All of a sudden, things were being divided because they were both claiming jurisdiction on the same contracts.
So that was messing stuff up.
And that was screwing things up, and
Huh.
that's why I would get together with these, back alley meetings. We have to merge just to keep our pension and health. Made sense to me. So it took.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it took a long time, and we got it. We got merged, and we are merged now, and I'm glad we're merged because it would have been suicide had we not merged. But that was how I got involved at the union. So I was a board member at SAG. I was a board member at AFTRA, and for about 2 years, I was a board member of SAG-AFTRA. I'm currently co-chairing the Hollywood voiceover committee. And for the last few contracts, I've been the chair of the animation contract negotiation. And before that, I was just on that committee. So I've been involved in that end of negotiating contracts for probably about 20 years.
So it sounds like you are watching out for some people.
Yes, but I'm also watching things change within the industry.
And since Bobby doesn't like change.
Well, but I can't control this change.
Okay. Doesn't mean you don't have to like it.
Well,
though.
you were asking about union versus non-union.
Or just FICOR in general, because I'm non-union.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think I'm saggy or I'm one voucher away.
And I always tell people, don't write that check till you have to.
That's what I hear.
Oh, yeah.
I was just talking to the guy you met, Johnny,
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, it used to be in this business, I mean, my first agent.
Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
Yay!
We want to make sure we're talking to humans.
Yeah.
So
thank you, by the way. I appreciate your patience, your time, and truly, again, this is just such a
and you
blessing.
just like.
I'm so grateful for this.
Mark getting up and down and up and down and up and down. It's
I've got a
cardio.
sweet
it's
ass.
cardio.
Spot.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Did they see it?
Hope so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the pay portion of your
I
website?
have such a terrible ass.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. See Mark's ass, 99 cents.
There you go.
Yeah.
But you have to pay them, or they pay you.
Whatever they pay,
Whatever gets you the part.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
His ass is not what it's cracked up to be anyway. So when I got in the business, you had to be union. No agent would represent you if you weren't union.
Is that where blackballing comes
unless they saw a spark. And if they saw us, like my first agent, not that kind of spark, but my first agent took me in when I said, "What's a SAG card?" And I don't know.
But you're basically a prodigy, bro. Come on.
But see, today, I don't care if you are a prodigy, because see, voiceover is now 50 to 80% non-union, depending who you talk to.
Yeah.
Do you know the only contract that is still mostly union? Can you guess?
I mean,
There's different genres of voiceover.
like theatrical film.
You're close.
Like
You're close. You're on the right track.
Would it be like not ultra low, but would it?
No.
I don't know.
Animation.
Huh.
The reason why animation has stayed and probably will stay union.
Like, say, for example, that thing you can neither confirm nor deny.
Well, and the reason is because of celebrities. Because whether it's a TV show or an animated feature, they like celebrities. And
You mean people with following? and shit
well, I'm
like
talking
that?
about Tom Hanks in Toy Story, and I'm talking about, I almost said what I'm doing. I'm doing a series right now where a major celebrity is my co-star. And as long as celebrities are needed and desired for cartoons, and cartoons, for all intents and purposes, is a scale industry. That will keep it union.
I almost got him.
But that will keep it union. So the rest of voiceover, commercials, promos, narration, e-learning.
So what's so bad about going FICOR? Why do people still blackball that shit?
It's not that it's not bad anymore, as far as I'm concerned. It used to be bad, and here's why. When the majority of this business was a union, if the buyers, the producers, the studios, the ad agencies had a wonderful core group of actors to turn to for non-union, the threat was that it will snowball and there will be more and more non-union work. Why should they pay pension, health, and residuals when they can get that same actor to do it non-union? That we're talking, when I got into the business, late 70s, 80s, that was considered taboo.
Okay.
You're damaging the industry, you're damaging your fellow actor.
Sure.
And
Sure.
you're basically...
You're fucking up the system.
You're hurting your friends.
Yeah.
And that threat of damaging your fellow actors kept the majority of people from going FICOR. Cut to today.
Well, I mean, with the streaming services,
Well,
everything more independent projects.
Well, that's just it. See, voiceover...
Other countries.
It used to be geographic. LA, New York, Chicago, those three
major markets
owned voiceover. And everything was union. Today, we're 20 plus years into the E generation of voiceover. And it used to be non-union meant non-talented. Now it just means non-union.
Yeah.
And after 20 years of training and conditioning, there's work. Not animation. You still have to be in LA for animation. But there's
You think so?
I know so. Now, it's adjusting a little bit. For instance, I'm doing a series right now where one of the actors is on Broadway. They want that actor because it's a musical show.
So the exceptions.
So there's a handful of exceptions, but
Sure.
I'd say it's probably less than 5%. It used to be, you got to be in LA.
Yeah.
It's adjusting a little bit.
We'll go where the work is.
Well, yeah. So, and the biggest problem is, as this was happening, technically, the union was either oblivious or ignored it. I think it's a combination of both, because 20 years ago, I warned them about this. I went into a board meeting with a half-inch stack of auditions from Voice 123, all non-union. And I said, this right here is going to do to voiceover what sound did to silent movies. It's going to make us obsolete.
Sure. And
they laughed at me and they said, "Oh no, go your."
So you don't necessarily hate change or all of it, but at least you can spot it. So my phone died. It sucks too because we talked about a whole bunch of fun stuff after that for a few more minutes, but the fact that it's not recorded, I don't want to share what we discussed, and that part's just kind of a special little thing for me. I hope you have a great night. Again, Bob, thank you so much for doing this interview, this episode. Such a blast. If you know people that want to be interviewed that I can interview, awesome. If not, no big deal. Again, follow Bergen.Bob on Instagram, which should be verified, damn it. And then check out his website. 4-year waiting list, by the way, for that voiceover class that he's talking about for animation. And again, thank you so much, and I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate your time. And since I don't really have an ending for these videos, here's a clip of Bob signing the Wall of Fame. Just your name. How's that? So I put this up yesterday. This is Bob Bergen signing the Wall of Fame here.
There we go.
There's only one other.
Who is the other?
The guy that you met this morning.
Oh, there we go. All right.
Yeah, right there.
All right.
That's
there you go.
Got old Bobby. Look at this
right.
thing. Man, this thing's awesome. All right, interview's coming up. Make sure you check it out with the one and only Bob Bergen.
Are we live right now?
No.
Okay. All right. Live scares me.
It does. It scares the shit out of me too.
Yeah.